Hello, everyone. This is a presentation I did on the 22nd of June 2021 for people working on the new DSA law for the European Union, and I thought the information could be of interest for others as well. In this presentation, I will first outline some background information about the Wikimedia projects that might be useful to gain more insight about how we govern the information that is available on our projects. Then I will share with you the general roles within the projects and our community, and in the end bring this together with the role of the Wikimedia Foundation, the nonprofit organization that supports the Wikimedia projects and our communities of volunteers. Who am I? I am Seal, a volunteer for 15 years on the Wikimedia projects. I am a social worker and started contributing in 2006 with contributions on articles about the Cook Islands and New Zealand related articles. I just came back home from a journey to New Zealand and wanted to share my enthusiasm for and pictures of the places I visited. My first article was about a New Zealand racehorse named Farlap. You see his statue right here. I became an admin after 5 months and still am, but now hold several other roles as well. My home wikis always remained the Dutch Wikipedia and Wikimedia Commons, our media repository. Wikipedia is an encyclopedia within the large landscape of the open movement. But behind it, there is also a large community. These Wikipedians are just people like you and me from all over the world. They have different backgrounds, different education levels, and different interests. Wikipedians have in common that they are committed to the mission of our movement and show this by sharing the fruits of their work under a free license. Wikipedia is just one of the many projects in the Wikimedia family, which is always growing and expanding. Newest edition being Wikidata, our database, but new collaborative projects are on their way. All our projects combined get 23 billion monthly page views. And the project Wikipedia alone already has 250,000 monthly contributors in over 300 languages. Imagine a world in which every single human being can freely share in the sum of all human knowledge. That is our commitment. We consider our communities our biggest asset. We are all in this together. Visualizing the different workflows we have in place is quite challenging, but let me try to do this the best I can. The image you see here works the same for every Wikimedia project. The project in the center is our core business. The community of volunteers portrayed on the right is the one that, for every language individually, takes care of the content and the rules and structure that the project lives by. The Wikimedia Foundation on the bottom left, the NGO based in the United States, is the one taking care of the legal side of things, the main chunk of fundraising, and the software development together with our volunteer developers. The many national chapters and user groups support the volunteers on a local level, for instance, by reaching out to galleries, archives, and museums. So where does all the knowledge on our projects come from? There are different ways the knowledge is collected. This slide shows the inflow for the collection we have in our media repository, Wikimedia Commons. First of all, there are the individuals, contributors that go out and take pictures of their surroundings often, but not only, to illustrate the articles they have written themselves for Wikipedia. Second, we organize annual photography competitions like WikiLove's Monuments that started in the Netherlands in 2010 as an incentive to collect images under a free license for all built monuments in the country. And do not underestimate, these global competitions are responsible for a yearly increase of 100,000 of new images. And then there's also all the materials we receive on a regular basis from big organizations in the field. These may be private donations of personal photo collections, archives, national libraries, but also governmental agencies like NASA. These materials are mostly already available under a free license somewhere, but are collected within the image repository of Wikimedia Commons. To us, the word open reflects on different parts of our processes. Our software code is open. Everyone can see article history and the background of decisions, rules and policies. Everybody can join in the community, but also everyone can use the outcomes of our efforts, as long as you do not put any extra restrictions on the rights of these materials when reusing. What is free should remain free. Our information is used in schools, museums, by Google, and also other commercial companies, and we don't mind. On all projects, there are several mechanisms that help control the quality of the information we manage. Because of the different goals of the project, they may again differ, but in their core, they come down to the openness of the projects. Through the recent changes, a clickable link on all projects in every side column on the left below the logo, one can see what is being edited at this exact moment. Also, every article or file has a history tab, where it is possible to see the history of the information, mainly who has added what and when. The Talk Page tab holds all discussions that has been held on the article's specific topic. And also per contributor, you can look back to all edits they have ever made. In my case, over 60,000 edits in 15 years are free to look up for everybody that would want to. Second of all, we ask sources. Our project should not be a primary source. We are very aware that we are a user-generated platform and that we are not researchers. We aim to present knowledge from a neutral point of view and want to include different angles on a topic. We want readers to be able to form an informed opinion on the subject they came to look up. With these two mechanisms, an open peer review is created, where in the academic world, a peer review is done by another professor from the field. On our projects, everyone can join in to correct, contribute, and discuss the subject. Wikimedians are very critical towards other contributors on the content and the contributions to the project. The articles you read are mostly the result of consensus that was reached through lengthy discussions. Now, let's talk about the curation of these millions of articles and files that we host. The community made it their job to actively patrol all the recent changes, either by bot or by manually checking. Depending on the wiki size, we constantly keep an eye on this live feed of changes happening on our wiki. Contributors can click on the links to compare the previous and the new version, and everyone has the user rights to restore the previous version, for instance, in the case of online vandalism. Administrators have the right to delete content. This can be the complete article or just a revision, for instance, in the case of cyberbullying or in the case of publication of sensitive or personal information. We have several procedures for people to reach out to us if and when something is wrong on Wiki, but also by email. The only role directly related to our content moderation as far as the Wikimedia Foundation goes is the one of the Trust and Safety team, who work together with the WMF legal department. In case of very sensitive information, for instance, child pornography images, Trust and Safety will be alerted, who will step in and take down the material, and for instance, handle the procedure working together with law enforcement. Wikimedia communities are responsible for the content, the rules, the structure, and the moderation on their project. Through the years, several roles have been developed, and there is a certain level of hierarchy in the roles. Most of the roles are by appointment after a community vote to express trust. A contributor can vote to can be nominated for the role or self-nominate on some wikis. The votes are open and visible for all, and there are little limitation to the right to vote. All actions are logged in mostly public logs, though details might be hidden for legal or privacy reasons. This hierarchy in roles, however, does not give much extra weight to a certain person in a discussion on the actual contents of the article. Consensus among individuals based on sources still is the main element here. Getting towards the end of my presentation, let's step away from the volunteers for a bit. We could not be the big internet platform we have become without the Wikimedia Foundation. As mentioned before, the Wikimedia Foundation is the main contact for legal issues, making sure we have stable servers and software, and managing the yearly donation campaign. All of Wikimedia's income comes from donations. To summarize, Wikimedia's structure is a multi-layered movement where the different roles and responsibilities of every layer are supportive to each other. We are a diverse community, which is our very strength, and we have the same mission. We join forces where we can in order to collect the sum of all human knowledge. Wikimedia has proven to be flexible and resilient. It has weathered several storms in the past 20 years because of its powerful community of hundreds of thousands of monthly contributors who are committed to the projects and our mission. And thanks to the donors who give us a small or large sum each year and make our volunteer work possible. This is a monkey selfie. Always use a monkey selfie. Thank you very much. Hope to see you on the project.